Really, Will? Really? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on the video, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Subscribe, like, comment, and ring that notification bell for all future videos. Now that we have business out of the way, let's talk about Gemini Man. Now, Gemini Man, it's one of those movies that had a lot of buzz. It has a great star, Will Smith. It has a great director, Ang Lee, who is revolutionary. And you have the CGI de-aging, so you have that going for it. So it should be a good movie, right? No. Well, here's the thing. It's not a horrible movie. This movie is cursed because it has a bad script. Now, I know this film was written, I think, in the 90s, or the idea was back in the 90s, but in the 90s, we didn't have the technology to do what they needed to do for this film. So therefore, we had to wait all this time for technology to catch up to the script. And let's be honest, the script was kind of aged, and it's an old idea, and it wasn't really up to par to the ideas that we have now. The basic plot of this film is Will Smith plays I would say a hitman, and he wants to retire. He knows it's time. He knows he's getting older. He's not as sharp as he used to be. So he wants to retire where he's still good. And the agency that he works for doesn't really like that idea, and so they're kind of angry at him. They're kind of ticked off, and they send one of their best soldier to take him out, and it's him. It's like Will Smith's clone. So you have the best going up against the best. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I don't want to spoil anything else for anybody who hasn't seen the film. However, it's the basic plot that we've seen over and over again. Spy versus spy. Another spy is taking out a different spy. The agency that they work for is mad at them, so they send the spy to kill the spy. There's nothing new with the story. There is no brilliant idea. The only quote-unquote brilliant thing is the de-aging process. And this is a very common thing that we're seeing now, because Marvel has been doing it. The Irishman coming out on Netflix, they have done it. So now this movie is also doing it. Let's talk about the pros and cons. The pros, the acting. Will Smith, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Benedict Wong are the highlights of this film for me. Mary Elizabeth Winstead really, she held her own because she was on screen with Will Smith the most. She really had a presence. I was interested in her character. I was interested in her relationship with Will Smith and how they were playing off of each other. I enjoyed her performance. And then Benedict Wong was in there as an old friend of Will Smith, and he wasn't in it too much, just enough. And he wasn't too comedic, but he brought a little bit of comedic energy to it, which is always good. But the con is the plot. The plot and the script are just so, it's old, and it's an old idea, and there's just nothing new in this film except for the de-aging. And to be honest, even that part wasn't spot on 100%. Obviously, when they are in dark situations, they're underground, they're in a tunnel, that's when the de-aging looks the best, because you can cover up anything that is sticking out or showing. But those scenes where, I'm just calling them the Fresh Prince, when the Fresh Prince is in daylight, I think Jeremy Jahns said it best. It looks like a video game. It really, especially the last scene of the film, Fresh Prince and Will Smith are out in daylight together, and it just looks weird. And the Fresh Prince always looks like he's about to cry in every single scene of the film. Even in the scenes where he is kicking Will Smith's ass, and he looks like he's about to shed a tear. throughout the entire movie. I don't know what that was about. I don't get it. I don't understand it. It was kind of distracting. Obviously, I noticed it. Did any of you guys notice the Fresh Prince almost crying in every single scene? That's what it looked like to me. That was annoying and that was distracting. So, would I recommend this film? No, because you have others to go and see. Zombieland is coming out this weekend, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Jojo Rabbit, The Lighthouse. I'm sure there are other options that you can go out to enjoy yourself. And on the love it or hate it, I gotta say that I hate it. And it really kills me because Will Smith, I like Will Smith. I think he's a very talented actor, but this movie was beneath him. It didn't reach his like normal, because he was guaranteed a hit with Aladdin. That's Disney. That's a no-brainer. Of course it's going to make a lot of money. And I feel like the follow-up film to that was going to determine where his career is going to go. And I'm just afraid that it's not going in the right direction. I'm really hoping that Bad Boys in January is going to rise him back up to the action star that we know he is and that we know he can be. So until then, I'm praying that Will Smith comes back on top. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did you go see Gemini Man? It's been out for, I think, a week or two now. Let me know what you thought. Do you agree with me? Let's have a conversation. All right, guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you at the movies.